dear name of creator of all existence. It is the third speech that I make this year. Uh, you know, I did what my earlier speeches were not structured, but I think I have said what I wanted to say in my speech in Christmas and in New Year. There is, the last thing that I wanted to say, it is about, that how I can say, in entire world, people are moving from small villages to little cities and to little more bigger cities and to capitals, you know. And, when they move from villages, first it is difficult to move to another place. But when they move, they say, well, we have moved where we have lived in so many years, so many generations. So now that we have moved, let's move somewhere that, is better. If, for example, here in Denmark, if the guy moved from his village to a nearest bigger city, then he gets used to a little more facilities and so on. But still, it is not all the facilities that he likes. So he said, I go to the next, what you call it, cities. And he go to little bigger city in the area. And there he see that whenever there is something in the country, like this New Year and this or that, even people of that big city, they take to capital city, take to Copenhagen. So you say, why we do not move instead of this little by little, go bigger and bigger and bigger cities? Why we do not move directly there, And many do that, And it is wrong, It is not, this speech, it is not about Denmark. As I told in my last speech, I don't like much about Denmark. But in this case, that people are moving from small cities, villages to what you call it, bigger cities, it is like any other countries. Once you could see in the movies, in American movies, that there is a movie about people that a whole city that people has left it. No one lives there anymore. It was something that sounded very strange to most of the people in the world, that how people, they show the city and what you call it, the cafeteria, or what you call it, or salon of the, and hotel of the city and houses and so on. So, yes, there are. It is like everybody has left the city. But nowadays, you can see the same problem there is in Spain. And 1 or 2 years ago, I heard that someone has bought a whole city, a whole small village or city, for 2 million Danish krone. And this problem is everywhere. And for example, here again, I know Denmark, so therefore I have to bring the example of Denmark. In the city that I lived before, oh, I had a worker to come and repair the roof. He said once in this city we had 4 banks, and many shops, and and now there was only one supermarket. You know, there was no shop, no banks, nothing, just a supermarket. And now that in my last video I told you that I have bought a left supermarket. There was a supermarket in a small city, and it they have left it. They closed it. The rest of the city, people live there, but there is no supermarket. There is no shop in that city. Or people to shop, they go 10 kilometers to the next city. There is a good shop there, and they shop there. First the supermarket took all the customers from the from the city, from the shops, and got them all closed. And now even the supermarket cannot survive, and every 2, 3 or a small city or village, they should have one supermarket in one of them, and all of them shop there. And my question is, when you live in this way, and the culture, what is the culture? Culture is, either there is facilities in the city, or you should see and watch the TV. Watch what you see in the TV, how people live in the big cities, and how there is everything in the big cities, and how they have fun and this or that. So in other words, it does not, the small city does not give you anything. It has neither give you any facility or anything, So less or more, you want to move out as soon as you can, to live, to enjoy your life, and or to go in a city that when you walk in this shopping street or something like that, you see the people, you see the shops and this or that. So in other words, there is something wrong, why, for example, in Denmark, it happened that first the shop get closed, then the supermarket get closed, and then people go out. It is because, the system built on welfare system, Either you work at the, you work somewhere, and you pay about 40%, 50% tax that the country can go around, or you do not have work, and either you are on pension, or you are, you are worthless, or or you are any other social case that state pay you. And to make this system going, that so the state has a law that if you are on one of these on pension, or worthless wage, or any social case, you should not work. You know, you should not on yourself. You should not work. You should leave the work for the companies and for the hired workers to do the job, because in this way they work, they make money, and they pay tax, and this tax, from that tax they pay you to live too. In my last video, I said this is wrong and it is a sort of a slavery, you know. And there is one thing on that video I have forgot to say, is that even you think that, well, you can, as a worker, you can go and work, or you can study, and as an engineer and so on, you can go and work. But in reality, you know, there is not enough job for engineers. There is not enough job for what you call it, for any education or worker education. It is not. It is never enough job. And by that, many have to be worthless. But you go and you get hired in a, what you call it, in a company. But when you go there, it is not sure that you get that job. Why? Because people who work there, they have some friends, some people that, what you call it, they know, and they can do the same job that you have occupied. Because of that, when you go there, they are against you, you know. They direct or indirect tell you that they don't want you there, you know. Not the company. The company want you and hired you, but the people who work there, they do not want you. Myself, in once it has happened for myself that there was a school that after I study computer, I go and take job there, and I started and renew their system and make everything good and so on. And they hired me as what you call it. When I started there, it was as a workless job that every workless get every 2 years. He get a job for 6 months that he should go and work. And I got that job. I go there and I work very good, and they said we are satisfied of you, and we want to hire you as a what you call permanent. You work here in computer department. But after 3 months that I have worked there, they what you call it, they made me travel, and I have my what you call it, my own travel with these people who torture me. And I've got fired, and a guy that they have told me indirectly, directly, they have told me that they want to throw me out. And now that it is a permanent job, he can come here and he can work as a permanent worker. And after me, he got the job. This is what that happened for many people, you know. And what you call it, those the company that hire you, it is not them. It is the workers that you should work with them every day. And they are like a mafia, and as I told you, but even they are mafia, they are a sort of mafia to keep their job and give the job to their own friend. But they are not the worst mafia. That the mafia that I said, they are left-wingy mafia. They are much worse than them, you know. These are only mafia work job, you know. work mafia. Those other mafia, they are social and life mafia. It is the thing that about this work mafia I have forgot. So they hire, or those who work, those who get job, is from themselves. The rest of the people, they should become worthless. He has studied 4 years, 5 years, he become engineer, he become this or that, or he become what you call it, a specialist worker, but he should go worthless and live on worthless money, and he cannot do any job on himself because if he do, or the work price come down and the system go right, and that is they stand against that anyone should not take any black work, they call it. This is what that make these people a slave, and they get a little money to not say anything and just be alive, and what you call it, let other, those mafia, work mafia keep the work, political mafia keep their job, and what you call it, royals keep their royals, and what you call it, and so. But here, I do not want to talk about that. It was the thing only that I had forgot to say, and I wanted to say. In the small cities, there is a lot of people. There is these people, mostly they are either on pension or they are what you call it, workless. Because if they work, little by little, companies move from the areas to the big cities. Here, some of my neighbors, and they are foreigners, and they come here in Jutland, but for work, they take to Copenhagen. They take to Copenhagen, work the whole week. They come back home every weekend. Or it is what you call it, work, everything is there. Here in these societies, or small societies, there is not much to do. So people little by little move out. And when they come to the big cities, well, the big cities will become another problem to leave their houses. The house in Copenhagen is, I think, 10 times more expensive than here, than equal house here, and in Copenhagen, it is 10 times minimum is price difference. So live in big cities, that has their own problem. My solution, and the reason that I have made this video, is a solution for every country that pay welfare and pay what you call it, workless money and pension and this or that, and has law against that people work, make under themselves, work to, It is for those countries, that to stop people moving out from small societies, a state should give to those villages, to those small cities that people are moving out, they should give people a little more possibilities. For example, he can, if he live in the big city, well, as a workless, he cannot do anything. Because if he do, the companies lose their income there. But in the small city, that there is not, that, for example, he want to open a shop and sell coffee, or open a shop and sell this or that, and there is no other shop on that small village. So why not he should not make that? And he continue get his, what you call it, workless money. But he be able to open that. He be able to open a little mechanic shop, a little, what you call it, or carpentry job. He continue to get his money. He make this little shop here. And in this way, and another one want to make sell fruit and so on. Another one want to, what you call it, sell one or another thing. But of course, if there is a shop, if there is the same type of shop there, and he want to make the same, well, he must not get allowed to do that. He should choose another job. But let people, in other words, use their own private effort to do something to make their life better. They bring the life back to villages. If in the village he see that he can open his little, what you call it, metal work or carpentry or cafeteria or this or that. But in big city, he should sit home and watch TV because it is not allowed there. So he get back, he get back to the small city, and he do there, he does not lose his workless money. And on his own, he make this shop, and maybe if he could earn that much money, that what you call it, that every other normal shop make too. And in other words, he was not needed to get the workers' money. After that, you can make it permanent for him, that he be what you call it, a shopkeeper of this type, that there, and pay tax like any other shop and so on. But on a start of it, instead of what you call it, has one law over the whole country to be, and forbid everyone, everywhere to do anything. Why? Because our system does not work. This is wrong. Instead of that, wherever is close to die, wherever people started to get tired and want to leave there, you should, what you call it, well, of course, there is need for some people that know what to allow, what to not allow. That because if, for example, on that little village, there is a shop that he sell fruit, what you call it. There is a shop that he sell butchery shop or whatever else, or a supermarket or whatever else. And if you open the same thing, so of course he lose his customer, you know. You does not lose much because where you were worthless and you continue become worthless. But he that has a job, he that has a worker and this or that, he should not lose his job. Because of that, there must be a committee, some people that for every single village, every single area, decide what it is allowed to put there, people on themselves make there, and still continue on be workless and get their workless wage, and on their own open such shop, you know, not so many what you call it problem with the state or this or that and paperwork and this. Just you open the shop and you know, let's see how good, you know, make one of his what you call it, one of his own homes or rooms like a shop and what you call it, sell something there or whatever, free, you know, instead of with law tying people's hands, let them free, you know, let them free and allow them to use their talents to, or what you call it, make their own life better. If it is again be possible in the small cities, you know, so people does not move out. Now it is not possible. So when now it is not possible to do anything, it is forbidden according to law. You make your life better. So, well, you should go somewhere that at least if you go walk in the street, you see people, you see shops, you see life, you know, instead of in one dead village, you know, that you walk and you do not see it. So let people use their talent for make their own life better, so they life little by little come back to, you know, in a start, well, some people open their shop and so on, they do not make so much money, but it makes the picture of the city, you know, a more living, you know. So it grow a little by little, you know, life come back to the city, you know. When life come back, money come back to the city, and it's what you call it, it live again, it start to breathe and live again. So such, what you call it, such law change, such, what you call it, giving favor to the small societies, it is necessary for whatever society that live on welfare, live on what you call it, workless money and this or that, such systems that forbid some people to work, do this or do that, they must have such facilities that little societies live again. If little societies start to grow and live again, or what you call it, your own problems in the capital cities, or it become reduced to, because people, if people go out, or they, what you call it, prices, house prices, and so on, they come down. Or when you want to go and take a bus and so on, you should not 3, 4 bus come and get full of passenger and go. Then you, what you call it, it become your turn to take the bus. So such things become reduced, and you can live better live in big cities, become more normal and good for people to there. But in this way that you are going right now, you are killing the small cities, and your capital cities, your big cities are growing, or what you call it, very bad, very wrong. And the problem is that it is not problem only in your own country. The same policy is destroying the whole world. People moving from their countries here to Europe, to US, to Canada, to Australia. Why? Because life is there. Everything is there. In their own country, it is like here, a small little village. There is nothing there. Even in their capital, there is nothing much. So they all come here, They come here, they come to, big cities in Asia, they come to China, to what you call it, Shanghai and Tokyo, and all they come to these cities that are first class, in the world. Most of the people want to go there. This is what you call it. You should change your systems, your what you call it, way of thinking, way of what you call it, economical system, and so on. You should change it in a way that people get something out of their lives in their, what you call it, in their small societies, in their own countries. And of course, if the culture is the culture that you are running right now, and all come from US, and the best singers, and all well, movies, singers, and this or that, TVs. If culture is these things, what you call it, no economic, no social system, no law change can do anything, because still this culture is as attractive and as important that people come, Well, maybe they do not, what you call it, come right now. Right now they come without any money to work in the big cities, to work, invest, and so on, and to make money and get rich here. That time, if you change the law and so on, and he stay there, he save money and take all his money and bring here, and there become again go down. Why? Because his money come here, their money come here, and that is right. So culture, this culture that you are running, it does not go. It will never go. The culture that, the ideal ones are in beside this screen, behind this screen. This will, this will take the people where behind the screens is there. It does not, where they are is not there. They should come there and be there. So this culture must stop. So I do not make this video long. It was the thing that I wanted to say. You should change all your laws and let people get your, what you call it, social help, economic social help, and be allowed to use their talent freely, and make only those few jobs because of their local, what you call it, there is some local companies there. Because of that, these jobs, no. But all other jobs, you are welcome to open your shop, In this way, life get back to the, what you call it, to a small society. You should do that. You should give this facility. Otherwise, you are guilty of killing all these villages, killing all these small cities, killing all these countries, You should give this facility that people live there. You should change the culture for, in case of countries, small countries, you should change the culture and let the people, what you call it, find the life, find the happiness in their life instead of what they can see in this, what you call it, a screen. You should give up having people happiness in the screen. This should end one way or other. If this not end, only few countries in the world, for example, London, Paris, what you call it, US, or some big Asian cities and so on. Only life will be on these handful cities. The rest of the world must move to this small city, these 10 cities. If this wrong culture does not end. And in case of religion, I tell you, I want to die childless. I hope God revives you all, because in last 4,000 years, you abused, Israelis has abused prophets, and after that, you all has abused prophets until now. And I do not see any, what you call it, light of hope anywhere in this planet for prophets. Because of that, we should extinct, totally. Because of that, I do not bring any child, and I hope God, what you call it, understand what I say and agree with me and revenge you all by kill you all. But In case of other side of religion, you know, this what I say about concept of need, you know, that we have two words. One of them is needless, being without any need. And another is having need, you know, in case of livings, both case of livings. The needless one is God. He has no need whatsoever. All other existence have one or another sort of need, you know, to continue living, you know. So because of that, I called our word of need. And you should understand this because so it is. So God, the way that God has created, you know, the way that nature is, the way that nature of human is, you should accept that instead of, for example, like Jew of past and so on. If we do like that and we in our imagination, you know, if we get God to support us, then in our imagination, we make the world like that. Put that garbage away. Accept the reality that God has created all existence in this planet and in entire world, in every galaxy. Accept that. And when you accept this, you can better live as a human, you know, as a living, as someone that God has created and should live his word and enjoy and so on. First, accept the way that God created everything, you know. First, accept that. Then, what you call it, you can see whatever, you know, it is, life is much better, much easier, you know. God is more, what you call it, because he knows how he created you, you know. Every good and bad in you is what that God has created. Oh, so he knows you well, you know. So you can better find out with your God, and you can better find out with the rest of the world, with the rest of the people of your kind, you know. Because God has created all of us in this way, you know. And I said in then that I told you as concept of need, as basic formula of our creation, of our evolve and our life, and so continue the next generation and so on. This is our formula for us, for animals, for every living in every planet, in every galaxy. It is a common thing like mathematics. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Here on Earth or on Moon or on 100 galaxy after, in a planet there, again 1 plus 1 is 2. It is not more. It is not 3 or 5 or 10. 1 plus 1 is 2. It is a mathematics. This formula of having a need, having a motion to get the need, get satisfied the need, and get pleasure of satisfying the need, and then the next need, and motion, and so on and so on, and rest and pleasure. This is like a computer, how instructions run on a computer, or we are the same, you know. And in case of need, we are what you call it, we have some needs like taking breath, or what you call it, walk, or I don't know, these things, as you know, in medicine, they say in behind we have two brain. The small one is behind our head, and that one search for that we can breathe without we need to think that we are breathing, you know, or when we walk, we should not think how we should move our muscles that we are able to walk. So these automatic things is a brain behind what you call it, our head. And another brain that is our brain that is the master one. You know, we can say we have some survival needs, you know. These are very important, and most of them are what you call it, are automatic. And after survival needs, we can, you know, if you want to categorize need, you know, we have, there are some real needs, there are some false needs. False needs are what that send us wrong. Real needs are those that we should, that is real in our life, and we should search for them. Here it is very unstructured in this way if I want to continue. And it is wrong because, you know, I have write this point somewhere in my website. It is these rules, you know, these rules of need, how this work, and this is our life. It is the way that every man is, you know. You have a car, you know, it has a, what you call it, as a body, and it has a, or what you call it, a sort of motor, and what you call it, it has four, what you call it in Danish, you, but tire and so on, that car run. All the cars has these things. They have a sort of motor, they have a sort of body, and they have a sort of tire that they go over there. We are the same, you know. When I talk about need, concept of need, it is in all of us. You know. It is, it was always, it is always, and it will be always. We are not to become God. We are not to become what you call it, needless. A needless, as a needless one, we have nothing to enjoy. We should have need. We should have need. We should search for our needs. And when we get our need, we should have rest and enjoy. We get, it is our body, or we are created in a way that when we search for our need, we get pleasure, you know, we get self-satisfaction and so on. And it gives our life meaning, you know. Or, you know, we see many of these movies that, what you call it, and he said, what was purpose of our creation? What is purpose of us? You know, if you live like a normal, you search for your every need yourself, you know. So you find what is purpose of your life. If all the needs, you know, or someone else search for all your needs, you know. So you do not have need, you know. So you do not, what you call it, you do not make any motion to satisfy your needs. You do not get any self-satisfaction of satisfying your needs. So it does not go, you know. It is the thing that I say, people, what you call it, people move from small cities to big cities. It is it it has connection with this thing that about need that I say. Everybody has need to have progress in life, but when he cannot, by law you have closed his possibility that, and he cannot have any progress in his life. So he cannot have any self-satisfaction. He cannot have any motion to have any pleasure of searching for his needs. So in other words, he is a living dead. It is your laws has made this around the whole world, you know, because of your welfare, because of your what you call it, worthless money, pension, or this or that you give. You have killed people. You have closed their ability to function as a normal, as a living human. And it is right, you know. Better said, you have hired them to do nothing with a very small wage. And it is right, you know. It should not be goal of any of your systems, you know, you call it socialist, you call it welfare, you call it whatever. It is right, you know. Only the real work, you know, is work. Pension, social, or what you call it, whatever else social, is not a job. It is not job for anyone. You should not take it as people's job. It is what you call it. It is the thing that you should accept, that you do not buy the people with this money that you give them. And about, I was talking about what you call it, concept of need and so on. Try to understand this, what you call it, that you as a human work with this system, that you should do, have a need, real need. Make motion for that, what you call it, satisfy that need, and pleasure, and then you get the pleasure and rest. This fact of real need is necessary. You cannot, or some states, some cultures try to make false needs for people. This false need not only does not solve anything, but also it's destructive. It is a very wrong thing. False needs, put them totally away. either there is a real need and he do or she do motion for that, or let the people, let they find their own real needs and go for that. The only thing as a state or whatever else is to let them live their life, instead of but with your laws forbidding them to have real needs, whatever, if they need what you call it, doctor, you give them. If they need this, you give them. If they need what you call it, I don't know, whatever, you give them. It is not what you call it. And when you give this thing, you think you own them. They are like your a slave or what you call it, you're hired. No, it is right. Whatever facility you give, it should not be give you any what you call it, impression of you own them. They are free. They must be free. They must be allowed to use their talents, to use their abilities to progress their lives. What else I can say here? What I said here about concept of need and so on, it was very unstructured, and I don't think you can use it for so much. I wanted to talk in this video about that, but it does not work when I forget it myself. But in this video, as I said, I think I have said what I wanted to say about what you call it. You should not feel that you hire people with social welfare or workers' money or this or that. You should allow people to use their talents, in their small societies. Forbid them only if what they do close any local business and so on, destroy their market. Yes, do not allow them. But if does not allow, destroy local people or local businesses, or let them use their talent and bring what you call it, life back to that area. From your side of view, he is worthless. Let it be worthless. If he could make a lot of money, so then you say, so money you make, you should what you call it, legalize this, and like a company you pay taxes like any other. And I don't think he say no, I don't want, because if you say another one or do the same, you say he has done that and makes so much money, why I make it legal? They want it legal, I make it legal. So let them leave. It is what I wanted to say in this video. Thank you for listening to me. I hope what I said here, you use it in your countries, you use it wherever you have this social welfare and so on, and laws and so on. Thank you for listening.